that. Let's just take a breather from this market conversation and get talking to some corporates as well. Prakash, just stay on. The NCLT has approved the merger of HDFC into HDFC Bank in what will be the biggest ever amalgamation in Indian corporate history. Remember, the merger has already been approved by the exchanges. To discuss this, we're joined by Keki Mistry, the Vice Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of HDFC. With the NCLT approval in place, Mr. Mistry, what are the other approvals that are awaited now, if you can tell us? And are we on target for the merger to take place by, say, Q1 of FY24?
Our target always was that the merger would get completed by June, July, which is what we had told people, we told investors, we told the media. The approvals, some of the approvals came faster than we expected, so we are absolutely on track. And my sense is that sometime towards the latter part of June or probably July is the time when the merger will get completed in all respects. Now, what you must understand here is that HDFC is not a single company. We are a financial conglomerate. So we have a life insurance business, an asset management business, a general insurance business. Of course, we have the bank. So we have different regulators. We have RBI, we have the National Housing Bank, we have IRDA, we have the pension regulator, and of course we have Sebi. So we have 5 different regulators, and each regulatory process involves certain procedures to be carried out. So there are certain procedures which need to be carried out, which is what gives us confidence that by our estimate, by June, July, this merger will get completed in all possible respects. The integration process has been going on now for a long time. There are a couple of hundred people together from both entities which are meeting time and again to look at integration, and there are integration teams for every single activity. And these integration teams are meeting periodically, and there is an overall integration team comprising 3 senior people from HDFC and 3 senior people from the bank who oversee the entire integration process. So everything is on track.
All right, that's good to hear, Mr. Mistry. Good morning. I mean, you also have asked the Reserve Bank for some considerations. What is the update on those? And are you still awaiting replies from the Reserve Bank?
We are still waiting for RBI to respond, but usually we understand that before the merger gets completed, we will certainly get a response. But exactly when we would get a response, honestly, we don't know.
All right, Mr. Mistry, how do you see the spillover impact of SVB, Credit Suisse impact on the financial sector here in India?
Almost zero. The Silicon Valley Bank, actually almost none. As far as Credit Suisse is concerned, Credit Suisse fortunately will get revived from what we understand from media reports, but it has a reasonably large in business in India. So there would be some degree of some banks which would have some kind of counterparty arrangements with Credit Suisse. But as far as the Silicon Valley Bank is concerned, the impact on India will be negligible. Even with Credit Suisse, the impact, if any, will be more in terms of companies which have any kind of derivative lines or any kind of hedging facilities that they have with them. But I'm sure all of these will get protected by whichever is the resultant entity from Credit Suisse.
So have we seen the tenor of the loan books increasing as lenders are easing or mitigating the burden of higher interest rates on EMIs of their customers? Just trying to understand whether the loan book tenor has been increasing or not.
When rates go down or rates go up, and that will, as I said, happen 3-4 times during a 15-year period, usually what is done is the tenor of the loan, the term of the loan is either increased when rates go up or decreased when rates come down. This has happened many times in the past. I can think of 2013, 2007, 2018, so 3-4 times in the last 10 or 15 years. And usually it has never resulted in any kind of asset quality issue or anything like that, because rates, the term goes up and then it comes down when rates come off. That's number one. Number two, most lenders, and of course HDFC would be one of them, have a process in place that if the extension of the term goes beyond a certain comfort level, then the EMI in those cases is increased and the customer is, educated, explained what needs to get done. So it doesn't create any risk to the banking system as a whole. And similarly, the third thing I would like to say is that Indians by nature tend to be very debt averse. So it's a very common phenomenon in India that a customer comes back and prepays the loan. So it's not necessarily a full prepayment. Very often it's a part prepayment.
Mr. Mistry, how do you expect the Reserve Bank to react to the recent developments? And where do you see rates in India headed? That's a big debate also, because here, core inflation is still running hot. What's your view on RBI's monetary policy itself? Go on.
My personal view is that RBI's policy will be guided in a huge way by two factors. One is the data as it emerges, and there is that I'm sure RBI is watching every bit of data that is emerging on a day-to-day basis, and on what the US Fed does. Again, giving you my personal opinion, I would say that probably what we may see is no increase in interest rates in the coming policy, or a maximum, in my view again, of 25 basis points increase in the policy. As we get closer to the date, we will be, there'll be more data which will emerge. The Fed policy result will be known to us later this week. So once that is done, one will get a much more clearer picture on whether RBI will do nothing now or will do a 0.25% increase in rates. But whatever it is, we are towards the end, almost at the end of the interest rate rise cycle.
Okay, got that, Mr. Mistry. Well, before we let you go, sir, we need to ask you this one question. Another group company, will you get dispensation on the stake in HDFC Life post that merger?
I would hope so. That's one of the things which we have sought forbearance from RBI. We've said that permit us to increase our stake in the two insurance companies from the existing level of 49% to over 50%. And the logic for that is that typically for a housing finance company, the regulations allow us to hold equity which is less than 50% in an insurance company. And we'd like to get back to over 50%, which is what in a bank you'd be allowed to do.
Okay, Mr. Mistry, thanks a lot for joining in and speaking to CNBC TV 18. Let's take a quick break on that note. On the other side of the break, we have